Have you ever met someone who could just own a room the moment they step into it? Their energy isn't showy, but they are impossible to ignore. They don't need to announce their presence, but you just know that they're there. They are the person that everybody wants to be around, and not just because they're fun, but they have this sparkle to them, this je ne sais quoi. It's like you're drawn to them, but you don't know why. And like, sure, they might catch your eye, maybe they're cute, attractive, or whatever, but this goes beyond physical looks. They carry themselves with a confidence that is subtle but commanding. They're in their element, they're comfortable in their skin, and it shows. It's like they feel important, captivating. They are the moment. Now, if you've ever met someone like this, they probably have a magnetic aura. And today I'm going to teach you exactly how to create a magnetic aura for yourself so that you can become a big effing deal. A magnetic aura is having a presence about you that people can sense even before you've spoken a word. A person with a magnetic aura walks into the room and their energy is immaculate. This is a person who knows how to draw eyes on them, not with force, but with effort and ease. Again, this isn't about the physical appearance you have, but the vibe that you emit. I do want to say though, looking cute and feeling good in your skin does help you radiate better energy. And when you're feeling and looking good, you will boost how you are perceived, but it's not all of it. Someone with a magnetic aura has mastered the energetics of attraction. This is all energetic. Having a radiant aura is a combination of self-assurance, positivity, and an openness that makes other people feel immediately attracted and connected to you. Now, no, a bright, positive aura can draw people towards you, while a dull aura is dreary, it's negative, it's judgy, it repels people. So even if you just sat two very different people with opposite auras next to each other, you could immediately tell the difference even if they didn't say a word. Imagine you're at a party, social gathering, whatever. It's a cold, dead, dreary winter night. Super cold. Everything is dark and dull. No one's having any fun. And all of a sudden, a fire pit is lit in the middle of this gathering. You are the fire pit. And that person comes in and they're warm, they're comforting, they have a glow about them, and everybody just gathers towards this fire because it's comforting and it's a source of light. The flames dance around, it's magical. And when people come near this fire, not only is it warm and inviting and very open, but this light just brightens everybody around them too. It's not just about this fire, it makes everybody feel like seen. It starts to brighten everybody around them, and when they are under your light, they can see themselves, and other people look a little more sparkly as well. Today, we are going to turn you into a fire pit. And you are just going to be so warm and cozy and inviting that everyone is just going to want to toast their marshmallows on you. I've said this before, but people with a magnetic aura leave an impression not because of what they say, but because of how they make people feel seen, valued, and heard. Radiating a stronger aura involves a blend of being really, really self-aware, being intentional about how you show up, and cultivating a sense of inner security and peace. When you embody the qualities of being present in the way that you interact with people, you can create an aura so magnetic that people can't help but feel just drawn to your energy. So this is the essence of what an aura really does for people, but I'm about to break down how to practically create a magnetic aura in 5 steps. Okay, so step 1, let's put ourselves in a scene. I want you to use this anytime you're at a social gathering, an event, a party, even just going out to travel and wanting to meet new people. Anytime you step outside of your home, I want you to use this. First, I'm going to set an intention. Now, this work starts the night before. People put so much emphasis in getting ready for an event, looking cute, putting their makeup on. That's all fine and dandy, but the real work is in the energetic preparation. Setting your intention before an event even happens is going to radically transform your entire experience. I never not do this. I set an intention every time I'm meeting new people, every event I go to, even before I walk out the door. Because when you set an intention and set up how you want your night to be, what you want to take away from it, you get to decide and control how you're going to see the outcome of this event instead of hoping, wishing, and praying it's going to be good. A lot of the times we kind of just go blindly into events or functions, and we end up just reacting to our environment. You're reacting to all of the people around you, and you're letting that event and the people decide if you're going to have a good time or not. But if you shift your mindset to consciously decide that you want to meet some like-minded people, you want to get the best experience out of it, you're going to feel so much more in control of your experience and the outcome. I don't know, have you ever been to an event or like a family gathering where there's just someone you know always grinds your gears, or you feel a little anxious around them? Maybe you haven't had the best history sorry. You're just like, ugh, I don't know if I'm gonna get through this. I'm just gonna go and show face. Ugh, I hope they don't bring this up. I hope they're not too bad today. It's like you're already going into this function with the end in mind. And in manifestation, you're almost creating this narrative to pan out for you. Now, we are not going to be socializing with this energy anymore because you are letting the situation define your happiness. When you're hoping, wishing, praying it will go a certain way, you give this situation unnecessary power where you clearly have the control to just set this up with the intention that you hold. Here's like a way to reframe that situation if you're going to a birthday party and maybe there's some people like you're already dreading. I'm gonna greet my friend a happy birthday. I'm gonna be there for her. I'm gonna have a good vibe and have a great time. I'm gonna be open to everyone and also selective and protective of my energy. If you're at a family gathering, I am gonna have a wonderful time enjoying my meal and I'm gonna hold very strong boundaries around the titas who may or may not judge me for my weight or what I'm doing for work. I'm gonna sit in peace with my spaghetti and lumpia. I'm gonna hop on the karaoke and it's gonna be a great time. If you're at a networking event and there's other entrepreneurs or creatives, I'm gonna show up authentically. I'm gonna be genuine and have a real interest in others. I'm gonna share value where it's needed. I'm gonna set an intention to attract like-minded people that I want in my corner, that I can lift up and they can also support me on my journey because we have very, very similar values and goals. Even when I go for trips, every time I travel, when I'm going to LA on this trip, I'm gonna meet so many amazing creatives. I'm gonna shine my light and help as many people as possible find their sparkle too. I'm gonna teach people how to manifest. I'm gonna have so much fun. I'm gonna indulge in all of the food, eat all of the burgers, blah, 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 blah. I get more specific than that, but the intention that you set before you go anywhere is so important. And it's so important that you show up like this because if you can really set an intention to just add value wherever you go, the things that come so normally to you that could really, really help and affect other people. Whenever you go out, instead of being anxious about how you're gonna be received or taken by other people, instead command to the universe that you are about to take control and you're about to shine your light and really, really harness the stuff inside you that makes you unique, and just not even hope, but command that you're going to be drawn to people who appreciate those parts of you. So instead of like, oh, I hope I fit in, I hope that these people like me, just own yourself, be self-aware about what you bring to the table and your knowledge and your groundedness. And this one tip alone, I assure you this will change your life. So before any event, just take a moment to really sit in what makes you unique. What can you bring to the table when you're presenting yourself? Doing this will open new doors to friendships, opportunities. It's gonna lead to enriching conversations, and that already is gonna set your whole night up. The second thing you're gonna do is ground yourself in feel-good energy. Now that you've set your intention, I want you to energetically prepare yourself to occupy space tonight. How I like to do this is before I attend an important event or know that I'm gonna meet people, I engage in activities that are gonna fuel me. So things like yoga, meditation, going for a walk, a dance, a run, something that's just gonna move energy around my body so that I'm just not like in my own shell. Energetically preparing yourself ensures that you arrive in a calm, a grounded demeanor, and you're just ready and open to engage with people. Okay, so we've grounded our energy, we've set our intention, and we're about to walk into the doors of this event. I want you to visualize yourself. I want you to visualize an aura all around you. You can pick any color that you like. Picture this colored light, just an orb around you. Sometimes if this is a really important event, I will like sit with myself, like in the car, just right before I go in or step out. And I just close my eyes and I visualize myself. I visualize myself walking in, radiant, glowing. I feel this light just orbiting around me. It's almost as if I'm glowing. And I walk in and heads turn and I touch people with my energy. It's crazy. But this visualization is really, really powerful. It sounds so wild, but I truly believe that people can feel that. Not only do I picture this energy just radiating around me, I imagine it protecting me. It's like creating a barrier for any like bad vibes to like penetrate in my bubble. Right before you walk in, I want you to do a drop-in. Sometimes I do this in my car, especially if it's a very important event. Like before I even step out, I just take a few moments with myself. I drop down into my body. I close my eyes. I want you to visualize how the most magnetic, bright, warm, unforgettable, attractive version of you is showing up in this moment. And think about it. How does she move? How is she moving through the room as she walks in? Is she frantically running around and trying to insert herself into conversations? Is she running around like a headless chicken trying to introduce herself to everybody? Is she hungry for attention? Does she feel this need to flirt with every guy, to feel like she has power and control? Is she paralyzed in a corner, hoping that people will just come up to her if she thinks she's being magnetic? No. She's most likely open, radiant. She moves gracefully and slowly. She asserts herself with poise, with confidence. It's her light and curiosity that draws people in. Once you start to see this for yourself, I want you to start embodying it. This work will start to translate to your body, the way that you walk, the way that you talk. Just start to emulate it. I don't actually love the term fake it till you make it, because I think subconsciously a part of that, if you're thinking that you're faking it or being someone else, like I get how that on a surface level works for many people, but I like to say embody it until you become it. And so once you have this picture of your dream self, how can you start to embody those things? Because it's very real. It's already a part of you. If you can think it, it means it already exists within you. You just may have not introduced yourself to that part, or maybe exercised the muscles of like being graceful and tactful and bright and fun. So once you start to embody this at the event, it's going to start to transform that the way you speak, the pacing, your cadence, your tone, your assuredness, the power of your voice. Now, this is all very subconscious, but if you can identify who you want to be, then the doing will all fall into place. And that's probably going to happen in very natural ways. You don't need to tick the boxes of how you should act, but if you're already being this version of you, you're probably going to naturally uncross your arms, give better eye contact. If you feel in tune and drawn to someone, maybe you're going to naturally mirror their body language as well, which is a very powerful connection piece. Next thing you're going to do is avoid drama and judging others. If I ever feel some kind of way about someone, whether I feel judged or there's just like some weird energy, I usually work that out in private, whether that's with them directly or on my own. Because more often than not, if I'm judging something about somebody, I'm usually highlighting an unhealed part of myself. It's usually showing me something that I resent, I feel insecure about, I envy, or something that I have never really faced within myself, and that shows up through judgment. Bottom line, if you're feeling frustrated with a heat or a pang or some kind of off vibe for somebody in any room, there's probably something to look at inside of you first. Because someone who is over there that doesn't matter is pushing you to some kind of reaction and is taking away your power from you. There's probably a gap within yourself that you need to fill. Judging people, especially publicly, is leaky energy, and all of that will make your aura dim. Giving off weird beef or side eyes or just indulging in this act of talking about people to other people who aren't involved is just downright leaky. What I mean is that is an energetic leak. It's a frequency that is messing up your shine. But you may find yourself in a trap, especially if you're surrounded by other people who like to instigate that kind of behavior as well, because let's be real, there's a beauty in judging others. There's a sexiness to it. It's like spilling the tea. It's drama, it's tea. We live for these stories. And women in particular find comfort and security in gossip bonding. Why? Because it gives us a reason to validate our own insecurities. When other people feel equally insecure or riled up by somebody else in the room, it makes us feel seen, heard, and validated. It makes us feel like we're not crazy. We feel seen because other people are feeling the same way. They say misery loves company, and you will feel immediate respect for people who see eye to eye with you. This is why we create these toxic bonds with people. But while in the moment it's fun, remember that that energy is actually harming somebody else that doesn't even know. And what that often leads to, as much as you're bonding with these people who are agreeing with you and your judgmental comments and they make you feel safe and like you're not crazy, deep down it kind of makes you think, what would this person say about me? Susie says to Sally what Sally says to Susie. What Sally says to Susie says more about Sally than Susie. Working on your aura is filling your cup and giving it freely to others. So you can't do that if you're just off in a corner just bitching about someone else or pissed off or frustrated by them, because at the end of the day, you're still pouring your energy into somebody else instead of your own. If the energy around is not vibing and you're in a crowded place even, or you're just very sensitive to other people's energy in general, this is a technique that my good friend taught me that has helped me a lot when I'm going to big events. I was actually experiencing a lot of anxiety being like suffocated in a market in Thailand. One time it was very hot and there was just so many people, and we moved off to the side and she taught me to guard my energy and literally get my hands and imagine I'm creating a barrier, an energetic barrier around me. So you could just do this. You can go off to the side if you're ever feeling overwhelmed, and you can just create this shield that's going to protect you, especially if you're an empath or you just gravitate to a lot of different energies and you feel like claustrophobic or just overwhelmed by so much going on. Now, on the topic of being at a social event, I want to make a note of this. If you set up your energy perfect, you stick around for a couple of hours, you're doing your thing, but you find your light just kind of dwindling down, your social battery is starting to die, and if at any point you're starting to feel drained about being around people, it is totally okay to give yourself space to energetically reset. I'm an empath, and I've always wondered why sometimes I would feel this need in the middle of a conversation to just step out and run to the loo. So I would go to the bathroom. I didn't even need to pee. Sometimes I just sit on the toilet and chill for a hot second. I fix myself up in the mirror and I'm like, why? Why do I need to do this? I'm not shy. Sometimes our body is just craving an energetic reset, and that is totally okay. It is very normal to want to step away sometimes and recalibrate. If you start to feel judgment or overwhelmed or insecure, maybe this conversation isn't going down the way that you want it to, maybe you're not feeling heard or listened to, take a few deep breaths, center yourself, and it's perfectly fine to step out, get some fresh air, and just recalibrate. Give yourself space, remind yourself of your intention, why you are here, remind yourself who you are, and you're going to come back so much more refreshed than just forcing out conversations. Now, the last thing you're going to do is listen intently and respond with confidence and self-belief. This is a two-part tip. First thing you're going to do is listen intently. Listen. The amount of times I've been in conversations with people that are just off with the fairies. I've been in one-to-one interactions where people don't even pretend like they can give me eye contact. Their head is just drifting from outer space. I know a lot of people have ADD mid-conversations, but it is no excuse because it is a very unmagnetic thing to make people feel like they are not heard. And sometimes you don't mean it. Maybe you're just thinking about what to say next, but this is just not an inviting aura. If you want to be seen as important to someone, you have to make people feel important, because the number one most important thing to everybody is themselves. We are inherently selfish. So if you want a piece of the importantness, you can't be making people feel unimportant. So listen, be engaged, use nonverbal cues to make people feel comfortable and safe and like you're really listening to them, just like head nods, mirroring their body language and pace, just matching somebody's energy. That is a subconscious cue that's going to make someone feel so much more connected to you. And the next part is responding with confidence and self-belief. People like and gravitate to what they feel familiar with. So even if you're a very, very different person, I'm sure there's ways you can find something to relate about somebody by what they're saying. Listening intently really helps to find cues on what common interests or beliefs you have and initiate conversations around that. Also, don't be afraid to insert yourself in already existing conversations that are going on. For example, say there's an existing conversation in a group circle and people are widening it up and letting me in. I'd be in the circle, I'd be scanning, I'd be listening intently. I'd digest what everyone's talking about and pay attention if there's anything you could further or add to this conversation. This is not about going into a group and butting in and making everything about you or mansplaining things. This is about prolonging the life of the conversation and the banter. You want to bring the vibes, and you can do that seamlessly if you be curious and you add value. So if I'm entering a new conversation, I don't bombard it. I just have an openness about me with my energy. I'm receptive, I'm listening, and I add my 2 cents or perspective to forward the direction of where we're going. It's also okay to play devil's advocate. You can just pop in, you can agree, you can nod, you can just be a part of the group. I feel like this is social dynamics that we just never really learned in school, but you learn from a lot of practice. So remember, you're not taking away from what other people are saying or just coming in and butting in with your own topic. You're adding, you're creating a comment or commenting on a situation that happened, and you're furthering. You're gonna take one thing that someone said and you're gonna find a way to slip in and add value or a fresh perspective on whatever they're talking about, or maybe even compliment them. For example, someone's talking about travel. Maybe they've gone to India and they got a really bad stomach bug called Delhi belly. So I'll listen, I'll ask a question to further the conversation, really just get curious about that. And maybe I'll add my 2 cents about what I experienced and how I prepared. Like there's this really good probiotic that I got from chemist chemist warehouse that has a specific strain that helps with digesting foreign foods or things that are very, very spicy to your stomach. I don't know. And this probiotic is like designed for travelers and yada yada. See, here I'm not making it about me and how I didn't get deli belly. I'm making it something valuable, and I'm adding my 2 cents and furthering the conversation. Before this last tip, if this is valuable for you so far, subscribe to me right now. And I would love to hear what is landing for you down in the comments. Now, finally, you're going to create this magnetic aura by being present and connecting deeply. When you're in conversation, when you're around someone, they need to be the most important person in the room. Tune everything out. There's nothing more powerful than feeling like somebody has you, has all of you, and is in your presence. And you are in their presence as much as they are in yours. You're just connected. There's synergy. When one person is feeling disconnected, off with the fairies, just like not there, people really feel that. Connecting deeply also means just having a general curiosity. I tend to stay away from close-ended conversations. For example, someone's talking about travel again. They've just been to Italy. Was it good? Did you like it? Those are yes or no closed statements, and it doesn't further a conversation. Being present with someone is willing to be curious. Ask them specific questions like, what was your favorite moment on the trip? Who was the most interesting person you met? What was your favorite food, and what was their story of how you got there? This level of attentiveness makes people feel deeply valued, and it strengthens your connection, making you so much more memorable than the person who's asking surface level questions. When people genuinely feel valued in your presence, like they matter to you, like they're genuinely adored and you have respect for their time, they will attach all of those good, warm, fuzzy feelings to you, and they will associate you with those feelings that you made them feel. When you genuinely feel good and you have so much in your heart to give because you're whole and complete and you're not leaking all this energy and power to other people, you can freely give, and it's easy to make people feel good. When you have so much confidence in who you are that you don't need to prove your worth, you can happily take a step back and just bask in the impressiveness and the worthiness of other people. And if you can do all that and amplify people to feel good and heard and important, you have worked your magic. This is you shining your light and being unforgettable. Whether you're using these tools at a social gathering or just stepping out the house, I hope you can find ways that this will boost the way that you connect with people and attract magnificent opportunities in your life. Because at the end of the day, if you want opportunities and a big life and a big career, all of that comes down to your ability to connect with one person. If you want to even make a lot of money, that is just an exchange for your service from one person. So the brighter you can shine your aura and invite people into your world, create communities, that's how you're going to impact people. That's how you're going to attract money, opportunities, and all of the things that you desire. Now, if you're already doing the work to become magnetic and you know you have this bright light that you want to shine, but you don't know where to put it, or maybe you're transitioning out of a career or job and you want to create something and build something of your own, based on your desires and your passion, I have an ebook that I think will help you. It's down in the description. It's my Dream Creator Journal, and these are the exact questions that I journaled and asked myself when I was going through massive leaps and pivots to find out what my next steps were. If you've enjoyed this video, check out my last one, The Secrets of Becoming Unforgettable, where I share more tips on becoming magnetic. See you in the next one. Bye!